Did Cornelius ever tell you that Mr. Goven is a federal snitch?
He said he heard something like that. He said he got shot when they went up there in McCookie's, and he said they was shooting it.
A woman connected to both Yo Gotti and Dolph's convicted killer, Cornelius Smith, has finally stepped forward, and she's putting everything on the table about Dolph's murder. According to her, Yo Gotti wasn't just around the situation. She claims he was the one pulling the strings behind it all, while also tying even more deaths to the case. Here's where things got serious.
So what did he tell you?
He said something about a hit.
A hit on who?
I don't know.
The woman walked into the courtroom, took the witness stand, and got sworn in. She gave her name for the record, and the prosecutor jumped straight into questions about the man linked to one of the biggest murder cases in Memphis rap history. She told the court she had been involved with Cornelius Smith for years, and prosecutors wanted the jury to clearly understand the connection before moving deeper into the case. Cornelius Smith is one of the two men convicted in young Dolph's murder. The second man is Justin Johnson, also known as Straight Drop. Prosecutors and trial testimony have connected both men to an alleged $100,000 hit placed on Dolph, reportedly tied to Anthony Big Jook Mims, Yo Gotti's older brother, and a CMG executive. The man on trial that day was Hernandez Goven, the alleged middleman prosecutors say helped recruit the shooters and pass messages between them and Big Jook. Angela Arnold took the stand to support what her boyfriend, Cornelius Smith, had already told the court the day before. The prosecutor asked if she knew Goven. She said not personally, but she had seen him before while riding with Cornelius to Govan's place in Memphis's Orange Mound neighborhood. Then the questions got heavy. Prosecutors asked whether Cornelius had ever talked to her about conversations with Goven. One simple yes opened the door to everything else. When asked what those talks were about, Arnold said they discussed a hit on young Dolph before the rapper was killed. She claimed Cornelius told her money had been offered, though she remembered the amount being much higher. Later, testimony and reports placed the alleged payment at $100,000. Then Yo Gotti's family name got pulled into the courtroom story. Prosecutors asked about Anthony Big Jook Mims, Yo Gotti's older brother, and whether Smith had direct contact with him. Arnold said no, which led prosecutors to focus on how messages were allegedly passed between everyone involved. Arnold said the messages allegedly moved through one chain only. Cornelius Smith would talk to Hernandez Goven. Goven would pass the message to Big Jook, and then responses would come right back the same way. According to her testimony, Big Jook was the one allegedly calling the shots from the top before he was killed in January 2024. She laid the whole setup out in court under oath. Smith talked to Goven. Goven relayed everything to Big Jook, and then the answers came back down the line. Prosecutors used that testimony to strengthen their timeline around Dolph's murder. Then the courtroom jumped to November 17th, 2021, the day young Dolph was killed. Arnold described the morning in detail, connecting key parts of the prosecution's case that investigators had spent years trying to piece together. She testified that she was at Cornelius Smith's father's house in Memphis that morning, and Smith was there too. Before she left, she remembered him getting a phone call. Around that same time, she noticed a white car parked across the street, a detail that caught attention because prosecutors say the suspects used a stolen white Mercedes-Benz as the getaway car. According to earlier testimony from Smith, Justin Johnson, known as Straight Drop, picked him up in that white Mercedes, stopped briefly at Govan's place on Bradley Street, and then they allegedly drove around Memphis searching for Dolph before following him to Makita's Cookies. By the time prosecutors moved Arnold's testimony to later that afternoon, young Dolph was dead. He had been shot multiple times inside Makita's Cookies while buying treats for a charity event. The shooters disappeared fast, but just hours later, Arnold said her phone suddenly started ringing. What caught her attention was the number calling her. She told the court Cornelius Smith was using a number she didn't recognize because he had allegedly left his own phone inside the white Mercedes tied to the getaway. Smith asked her to pick him up from the Tulane. Apartments, a place she said she had never been before. She drove her dark gray Chevy Trax over there and waited. When Smith got inside the car, she said he immediately started talking about what had happened. Prosecutors then focused on Smith's injuries. Arnold testified that Smith told her he had been grazed during the shooting at Makita's Cookies after gunfire was returned. Earlier testimony also claimed Justin Johnson, known as Straight Drop, suffered a graze wound to his back during the same incident. Then the story circled back to Hernandez Goven again. According to Arnold, Smith said he needed to recover his phone from the Mercedes, adding another piece to the timeline prosecutors were building in court. Arnold then revealed where they allegedly went to recover the phone. She said they pulled up to Pressure World, where Hernandez Goven was already waiting inside another car. Smith got out, walked behind the car wash with Goven, and the two talked privately while Arnold stayed in her vehicle.
When you heard this, what went through your head?
I had to pinch myself. Yeah, I thought it was a dream because I knew that was just not true. That's not true. Yo Gotti or no one from CMG ever gave me a dime on my attorneys or anything related to this case.
She couldn't hear the conversation, but she claimed she saw Goven hand something to Smith before they left. After that, they made another stop at AutoZone. Prosecutors suggested the visit was connected to covering up evidence tied to the white Mercedes allegedly used in the shooting. According to Arnold, the goal was to hide the car and make the trail go cold as the night of November 17th, 2021, unfolded. Then the courtroom shifted to what happened in the days after Dolph's murder. Arnold testified that a few days later, Smith asked her for another ride near Goven's neighborhood so he could allegedly wipe fingerprints from the abandoned Mercedes. She dropped him off near Bradford Street, drove around the block, and later picked him back up. Earlier, court testimony claimed Smith used a towel and peroxide to clean parts of the car before leaving the area. Smith also reportedly admitted he had contacted Goven beforehand to let him know he would be near the property. Weeks later, Smith allegedly ran into Hernandez, Goven in South Memphis, and Arnold's testimony about that meeting became one of the biggest moments of the trial. According to Arnold, Smith said he spotted Goven in traffic, hit the horn, and Goven made a U-turn before pulling up behind him. The conversation that followed was short but serious. Arnold testified that Smith told Goven everything was still quiet and no information had leaked. Goven allegedly responded by saying the money was coming soon, and even mentioned going to Privé, Yo Gotti's Memphis restaurant, to collect his share. That alleged reference to Privé grabbed major attention because prosecutors used it to connect the supposed payout to the CMG circle tied to Yo Gotti and Big Jook. Arnold also repeated claims that Smith believed Big Jook was the one directing everything from the top. Prosecutors then brought up Arnold's police interview from December 2021, recorded just weeks after the murder. In that interview, she allegedly said the entire operation came from a higher power, which she identified as Big Jook. She also mentioned Bobby Carter, claiming he was connected to the white Mercedes tied to the case. Arnold admitted she did not tell investigators everything at first because she was scared, especially because of the names connected to the situation. Before his death in January 2024, Big Jook was a top executive at CMG, the label founded by his younger brother, Yo Gotti. Prosecutors claimed an alleged bounty connected to him was passed through Hernandez Goven and used to recruit Cornelius Smith and Justin Johnson in the plot against young Dolph, but there was a major issue with Arnold's testimony. By her own admission, everything she knew came from what Cornelius Smith told her. She never spoke directly with Big Jook or Goven, and she was not personally involved in any alleged meetings or phone calls. That became the main focus when defense attorney Manny Aurora started cross-examining her. Aurora, a well-known Atlanta lawyer tied to several rap industry cases, pointed out that Arnold didn't even want to testify and had watched part of the trial on TV before taking the stand. Then he zeroed in on the biggest weakness in her story. Arnold admitted she had no first-hand knowledge about any alleged hit, payments, or plans connected to Dolph's murder. She confirmed everything she knew came through Smith. Aurora also brought up another twist during questioning. According to Arnold, Smith had once claimed he heard Goven was a federal informant, adding even more tension and confusion to the courtroom drama. The defense argued that Cornelius Smith may have had a reason to shift blame onto Hernandez Goven instead of himself or Justin Johnson. During the trial, Smith faced an intense cross-examination that focused heavily on his changing stories and alleged connections to CMG-affiliated money. According to testimony, Smith's original lawyer had been paid around $50,000, and defense attorneys claimed that money came from sources tied to CMG. Prosecutors questioned why Smith accepted the money and later changed his version of events, saying his conscience eventually caught up with him. The courtroom also heard about letters Smith wrote to his sisters from jail. In those letters, he appeared to deny involvement while also suggesting he might say anything to avoid a life sentence. When questioned, Smith claimed he was just talking emotionally and not necessarily speaking facts. Defense attorney Manny Aurora kept pressing one major point. Smith had reportedly given different versions of the story to police in 2021, 2022, and later in court.
And with regards to what you testified to here today, I mean, everything's essentially what Cornelius has told you, right? He's repeating.
The defense argued that his constantly changing statements made him unreliable. That argument seemed to work with the jury. On August 21st, 2025, Hernandez Goven was found not guilty after only a few hours of deliberation. Jurors later said there was not enough physical or independent evidence outside of testimony from cooperating witnesses like Arnold and Smith. After the verdict, Hernandez Goven said the whole case felt unreal from the moment he was indicted. He also denied rumors claiming Yo Gotti, or anyone connected to CMG, paid for his lawyer, Manny Aurora. So, despite explosive courtroom testimony about a higher power, the case against Goven ended with a not guilty verdict. The person repeatedly named in testimony, Big Jook, had already died in January 2024 and was never charged or officially questioned in the case. Then came the confusion spreading online. A lot of videos and rumors started mixing up two completely different women. Angela Arnold, the woman who testified during Govan's trial, was never Yo Gotti's girlfriend. She had been in a relationship with Cornelius Smith, one of the men convicted in Dolph's murder since 2016. No court records, reports, or testimony ever linked her romantically to Yo Gotti. Arnold also never apologized in court for anything connected to Yo Gotti. Her testimony mainly focused on what Smith allegedly told her, which the defense argued was second-hand information. The woman most people actually know as Yo Gotti's ex is Angela Simmons, the reality TV personality and daughter of Rev Run from Run DMC. She and Yo Gotti publicly confirmed their relationship in late 2022, before later separating in 2025. Angela Simmons never apologized or revealed anything about murder allegations during her interview. She only spoke about her relationship with Yo Gotti and explained that ending the relationship was her decision, even though it was emotional and difficult for her. She made it clear the breakup came down to personal reasons and heartbreak, not drama connected to court cases or street rumors. Nothing she said involved young Dolph's murder, Big Jook, or any claims tied to CMG. In fact, Simmons has never publicly spoken about the Dolph case, the trials involving Hernandez Goven or Justin Johnson, or the long-running issues between CMG and Paper Route Empire. Her comments have stayed focused on her personal life and relationship matters only. Yo Gotti has also stayed mostly silent about the allegations surrounding his late brother, Big Jook. He has never been charged, named as a suspect, or identified as a person of interest in court records connected to Dolph's murder. During trial testimony, retired Memphis Police Sergeant Terrence Dabney reportedly said Big Jook was considered a suspect, but Yo Gotti was not. Since then, Gotti has mainly focused on business, music, and expanding CMG while keeping away from public discussions about the case. Even with the courtroom drama slowing down, the internet never stopped running wild with theories and accusations. Social media kept connecting Yo Gotti's name to the case, even though no charges or official documents ever tied him directly to young Dolph's murder. A big reason the rumors kept growing was the history between Dolph and CMG. For years, fans watched the tension play out through diss records, interviews, and online shots thrown back and forth. That long-running rap feud made a lot of people believe there had to be something deeper behind the scenes once the murder happened. But inside the courtroom, prosecutors focused mainly on the alleged communication chain involving Big Jook, Hernandez Goven, Cornelius Smith, and Justin Johnson. Witness testimony and phone records became the center of the case, while defense attorneys kept attacking the lack of physical evidence directly connecting Goven to the shooting itself. At the same time, Dolph's family, fans, and the Memphis community continued mourning the loss of one of the city's biggest rap stars. His murder shocked the hip-hop world, and years later, the case still leaves people divided, with some believing key details have not fully come to light yet. Young Dolph's death changed Memphis hip-hop forever. The rapper was known for staying independent, building his Paper Route Empire brand from the ground up, and helping people in his city through giveaways, donations, and community events. That's part of why the news hit so hard when he was killed outside McCookie's in broad daylight. As the trials unfolded, more courtroom details kept spilling out, but so did confusion online. Rumors, edited clips, and viral headlines started spreading faster than confirmed facts, making it hard for many people to separate testimony from speculation. Every new witness statement instantly turned into debate across blogs, YouTube channels, and social media pages. Meanwhile, the legal side of the case continued moving piece by piece. Justin Johnson and Cornelia Smith were both convicted for their roles in the murder, while Hernandez Goven walked away acquitted after jurors said the evidence against him was not strong enough. That split outcome only pushed even more conversation online about what really happened behind the scenes. Even now, the case remains one of the most talked about stories in hip-hop crime history, with people still arguing over the alleged motives, the courtroom testimony, and the powerful names connected to the situation. Yo Gotti has never publicly addressed the Hernandez-Goven trial, the allegations involving Big Jook, or the claims connected to Young Dolph's murder. His social media and public interviews have stayed focused on business, music, and CMG, with no direct comments about the case. And when you really break everything down, a lot of the viral headlines online simply don't match what actually happened in court. Angela Arnold, the woman who testified, was not Yo Gotti's ex-girlfriend, and she never apologized in court. Her testimony focused on the murder of young Dolph and allegations involving Big Jook, not Yo Gotti directly. The real ex tied to Yo Gotti is Angela Simmons, and she has only spoken publicly about their personal relationship and breakup. She has never discussed the Dolph case or any criminal allegations. In the end, 2 men were convicted for Dolph's murder. Hernandez Goven was acquitted, and many of the bigger claims floating online came from confusion, rumors, and exaggerated titles. The case left behind more questions than answers, and with both Dolph and Big Jook gone, some parts of the story may never fully be explained. Rest in peace to young Dolph. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, share this video, and drop your thoughts in the comments below.